Hello and welcome to the Inglorious Film Nerds Podcast, episode 3. We recorded an hour of this, and then Safari and GarageBand crashed at the exact same time on my computer, and it just caused horrible. So there's an episode 3 of this where we talked about Suicide Squad and Oscars and my thoughts on all. Oh Jesus Christ, we lost my thoughts on all the Oscars. Fuck me. All right. So we're basically just gonna.
we lost everything.
We're gonna pare this down to 20-30 minutes of Oscar talk because we don't. It's like 9:30, and I don't want. I'm done. I'm just done. You know. I'm just done with life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Next week, or I mean, maybe not. I mean, we could maybe do it next week. I guess to make
might
up,
do a supplemental.
'Cause we could talk about Logan and everything.
Yeah, just do like a 30-minute. Yeah, like episode 3.5.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because I was like talking in depth about this like thing, and it just like it's weird enough, you know, technically talking to no one while doing podcasts, but knowing that it just stopped, and knowing that even GarageBand isn't even listening to you, that's the worst. So yeah, it just happened like I don't know, like 10 minutes ago. Yeah. Now we're gonna crank out the Oscar nom stuff. Yeah.
Just gonna crank out real quick. I finally saw episode 1. Suhaib talked about Oscar movies. I finally saw all of them. Let's just go through them real quick.
Yeah.
Manchester by the Sea. Okay, you know what? Wait, hold on. Let's do a thing. Okay, we got 8 movies. Let's try to do it in 4 minutes. Give 30 seconds for each movie. Let me grab my phone and pull up the timer.
All right.
We're gonna do 8 of the Oscar movies in 30 seconds because I had an Oscar marathon. I saw 6. I said I'd seen 2 out of the last 3, so I left. But then I didn't see Hacksaw Ridge.
Hey,
okay.
we can talk.
So Oscar marathon 24 hours. I saw the first 6 out of the last 2. 2 out of the last 3 I'd already seen. So I just said screw it. I'll miss Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah. So the only one he hasn't seen is Hacksaw Ridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna time myself. And we're gonna do 30 minutes per movie, and we got 9 movies, or 8 for me, and then 9, and one other includes Suhaib.
Yeah.
Right, let's reset my stop. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
Manchester by the Sea was the first one we watched. I thought it was depressing, but also funny, just like life. Funnier than I thought it would be, and I think it was certainly performances all around really performance-driven, and just an interesting little kind of movie about life, and. You won't be. I don't think you'll be horribly depressed by it, but we were talking about this earlier in the Lost version of this episode. I think that when I'm older, I'm gonna have a midlife crisis watching this movie.
All right, cool. Yeah, 27 seconds. So what? And do I do it for a minute and a half?
Next, should we just go on to the next one?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Sorry that I cut you out. Anything you wanted to say?
No.
Okay. Fences. This is a movie that's a play that Denzel Washington did. With Viola Davis back a while ago, and it feels exactly like that because it doesn't take advantage of being a movie at all, and it feels like you're watching a play that's being camcorded by someone in the audience. But the performances are very good.
Yeah, the performances are good. I got 8 seconds, 7.
You can go a little
6,
bit over. You can go a little
5.
bit over.
Okay, I just wasted like 3 seconds. But yeah, you know, it was good. I mean, you know, it's a play, and but it's really intriguing. I thought the characters and story were really good.
Yeah. Next movie was Lion. This is inspired by true events movie. Google plot if you want to. We're not going to talk about plot.
Yeah.
It felt pretty standard. There was some stuff where they talk about him destroying his life, trying to search for his home, but I didn't feel like that was represented that much in the movie. And although I did give this movie credit because it didn't feel like a lot of stuff was over dramatized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Going off that, I kind of thought that it slowed down a little bit in the second half, but again, and I'm not against slow paced. You know, like we said before.
You know what the end is going to be.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, you know, again, I would have liked to see more proof of like his life kind of falling apart. I guess like actual things, you know, rather than just
the movie.
Yeah, rather than just like close-ups of him kind of in grief.
Next movie was
good overall.
Was La La Land. We can actually take a slow 30 seconds.
Yes, we can. We've talked about it before. Yeah.
Very much enjoyed this movie.
Yes, very, very good.
Go see it. But it's only my second favorite, and it's my first favorite later.
All right, cool.
And next is Hidden Figures, which was I think the one that's been getting the most I think the one that people are most aware of just in terms of advertising, and I feel like it definitely has that feel of trying to play to a general audience.
It made a lot of money too.
In the sense of just like the humor style and kind of the lightheartedness of it. Felt pretty over dramatized in some parts, and like I didn't think there was any really really phenomenal directing or acting, but I thought it was uplifting and like. You know, if you want to see an inspiring, kind of like nice, lighthearted sort of movie, you'll like it.
Yeah, I think the same thing. I think I really like the lightheartedness of it because we're kind of bombarded with all this like, oh my god, it's so sad and you know depressing and stuff. And I thought this was really good with the soundtrack and all this stuff and all the kind of funny moments. I guess you know. I mean, it has kind of a generic kind of like cheesy kind of ending. But it's a kind of a family film. What do you expect?
Yeah. Next we got Moonlight, which is my favorite movie out of all of these, which we'll do a spoiler talk of because it won Best Picture, and there's a lot of stuff that I think we want to discuss.
Spoiler talk right now, or like when we get to
do
the okay,
Best
cool.
Picture stuff. But
All right,
yeah,
cool.
that was this is a phenomenal movie.
Very good.
Just really unique, and just amazing performances and direction and everything.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah, it didn't seem like depressing as much as just like contemplative and just really kind of like observant of the,
good,
sorry, contemplative. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think
but observe. Yeah, but like just it's just I don't know. It's just a kind of cool like meditation on like sort of like social issues, certain social issues. I don't want to get too much into it, I guess, because I kind of do want you to experience it on your own.
We got 20 seconds left for Arrival and Hack and
I forgot about those movies. Jesus.
And wait, hold on. Okay, wait. I'm pausing it for a sec. Do you think we can do Hell or High Water and Arrival in 20 seconds?
So we have to give 10 seconds to each.
All right, fine. We can probably do Arrival in 5.
Okay, fine. Go.
Arrival's a really good sci-fi movie, and you shouldn't know anything about it going in.
Yes, don't know anything.
Next is Hell or High Water, and this is a Western done in a modern setting. Has a lot of commentary on the death of a gray in America, which I think is pretty relevant given the election. Great performances by everyone.
Wilkes being a very intense, awesome story.
Yeah, intense kind of thriller, really excellent performances, and I think more complex characters than I would expected. Were like pretty much 4 minutes.
Yeah, 4 minutes, and
that was great.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, we got through that.
To the 40 minutes that we lost.
Yes, true. Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna find it on my computer after we upload this. I think we'll probably do a supplementary Logan episode just to make up for the lost.
Yeah. And maybe I would have seen Get Out maybe by then or something.
Oh yeah, maybe.
And I'm possibly going to see Beauty and the Beast this Monday or something.
Does it come out?
No, but I got a free thing from
T-Mobile.
from one of those places, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna redeem it now because it's gonna get sold out.
Not sponsored by T-Mobile. Your brother always talks about. Always gets the random free.
Yeah. No, this wasn't part of that, but it was like a sub. I don't know, whatever.
Anyways. So those are movies, and Hacksaw Ridge you can talk about.
Hacksaw Ridge was okay. I thought it was really good. It wasn't one of my favorites of the year. I mean, it's probably be 10 or 9 or whatever in my top 10. I don't know. I don't really do that stuff, but it's one of my favorites probably. But not
specific critiques that I had in movies that really. Okay, important stuff to touch on too, I guess. That kind of wrap up. I think one of the things we talked about with Fences was I'm interested to watch this movie as I get older because I think my perspective on it's going to change a little bit.
Yeah.
Same with Manchester. We talked about that.
We talked about before. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of specific points that we actually made that I forgot to make.
I feel like we kind of said everything that can be said right now before the Oscar talk stuff.
We really condensed that down.
Yeah.
I mean, we had five. At least 10, 15 of those of that minutes of that hour were tangents about Star Wars and Marvel and DC.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we steered it back though, of course, at least, which is good.
I guess we should talk about Mel Gibson directing Suicide Squad 2.
That's a possibility. He said that he's on a sort of first date, which is kind of weird. It's like
he likes to go on those first dates with those young women. You see that person he brought to the Oscars.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God.
I mean, I don't want to judge. I mean, she wants.
Yeah, of course.
If she wants to make her decisions, go for it. But it's just kind of weird.
Yeah. And that's Clint Eastwood.
I'm very interested to see which of the Suicide Squad he makes his Jesus character. He's always got that. He loves those Jesus analogs.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. I'm just interested in what the movie's going to be like in general. I mean, again, it's I really could care less about the filmmakers that they get, and which is the worst thing to say, and this is the last thing I would expect myself to say, but it's true given that Warner Brothers has had a track record of just not even just Warner Brothers, but just the DC branch of Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers is awesome actually. They got The Nice Guys, Midnight Special, and the Lord of the Rings. They got so many movies that have and they're very filmmaker driven apparently, but I don't know what it is when these DC movies. When it comes to these movies, and I just hope. I feel like Mel Gibson's the one guy that they're just you're scared of Mel Gibson. So I hope
think at this point they're just fight fire with fire. Just throw a total nut at a movie that's just that they just can't figure out what to do with and see what happens.
Maybe he's a great director. It's just I don't know. It's just it's not something that I see him personally.
Oh my God! You know what he's gonna do?
Yeah, what?
To get a perfect Jesus analog, he's gonna get the obscure DC character Resurrection Man in the movie, and then he's gonna die for 3 days, and he only resurrects after 3 days.
After 3 days, yeah, I could see that.
And then there's Deadshot makes like a cross out of his gun.
Then again, I feel like there's a lot of. I feel like there's already a lot of Jesus allegory with the with Man of Steel and BVS, with Superman. I mean, about all this.
Yeah. Oh my God, those two are going to get along so well.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder loves his Superman Jesus symbolism. Mel Gibson likes his Jesus symbolism in general.
Yeah.
Everyone, they're going to get along quite. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why they chose him, because they got a guy who's as crazy for Jesus.
It is interesting though, because I feel like Zack Snyder. I don't know. I feel like we're not hearing much of because it used to be that Zack Snyder was kind of in creative control, like almost like 90% of the time, but now it's like it's kind of just like. I don't know. I don't really know. We don't know what's going on there, but hopefully things are all right. We're going to be hopeful about that. Were we going to be just doing news and then go into the Oscar stuff?
Well, actually, we did make a point about Zack Snyder earlier where we said we both agreed upon that he's a good cinematographer without context in movies, but he shouldn't be directing things.
Yeah, like he's good at like kind of planning out just his shots and like storyboarding and stuff like that. And I really liked the cinematography of BVS. I really did. But at least in the first half, or like in those kind of the scenes where there wasn't too much going on, I guess. But obviously when it got into the stuff in the end, the dawn of justice, then things started to kind of become a whole different entity. But you know what? That's because we were talking about the Oscar noms and like for cinematography and all that stuff. That's how it got into it.
Because Batman Forever got nominated back in the day for best cinematography.
Yeah, and it was. I think it was really because of we were talking about makeup for Suicide Squad.
Yes, yeah.
If we want
to, I had some. Also, god dang it! It's too late to make this joke, but I'll say it anyways. It's so stupid. When you were talking about how it gets worse during the Dawn of Justice, I was gonna say Dawn of Justice, more like Dawn of Migraine.
That was great.
It wouldn't have even been good if I timed it well.
Yes.
Actually, so we don't have the Oscars pulled up, but we already talked about them, so let's just go through them.
Yeah. So Mahershala Ali for Moonlight
for best
supporting actor
deserved it.
Yeah, deserved. I feel like it's kind of weird. I didn't talk about this, but it's kind of weird that like they make supporting actor like the first thing ever that they do. It's kind of interesting.
And it kind of started.
I think it kind of starts off with a kind of like a kind of head start kind of thing. Yeah.
Because I mean, if you started off with like
whatever, like documentary. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Then it's like okay, what like but it's like you start off with one that's like people have some investment in, but it's not like a huge one, so it's like you're saving, but it's like you're starting off with a decent one.
I'm glad that Michael Shannon was nominated for Nocturnal Animals. He was amazing in that.
Nocturnal Animals.
I know, yeah.
And I'm glad that Lucas. I'm glad about Lucas Hedges.
Yes, but Mahershala Ali, I think, deserved it. He was incredible in it. He was only in
he's only Moonlight for like
a third, maybe not even a third, and he's incredible, and he makes such an impact. It's amazing.
Next was
Jesus, why?
Was it like sound editing mixing? That's.
No, next was makeup and hairstyling.
Oh yeah, Suicide Squad, Oscar winner. Wow.
Yep. Wow. I mean, look, I thought it was,
I gave a rant about the Allens and the aliens and the Allens and
the Allens. Yeah.
Allens.
I feel like there was a lot more there.
There was an Idris Elba Allen. Yeah. And an Allen with a alien
the
face
tentacle
hugger
weird
on the
thing.
back.
Yeah.
Was a face hugger from Alien on the back of her head.
Yeah.
Well, I think some of that was CGI. I think the actual moving of the claws might have been CGI, but like at least her face looked like.
I feel like that might have been. I mean, because we were again talking about like kind of like how.
That was such a surprise to me because that had so much like press. Like I think a lot of the extras in that movie, in keeping kind of with the like the traditional kind of Star Trek style, they legitimately did the like practical makeup rather than just having them green screened in. And I think Suicide Squad had Killer Croc, and then that was it.
I think. I actually didn't bring this up, but I just thought about it. It is makeup and hairstyling, and I think maybe a lot of Harley Quinn stuff with hairstyling. I mean, no, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. I think it
isn't that okay.
Some of those like that scene. There weren't even scenes in that, whatever. But like the moment,
you mean the images that were being shown on the screen?
That were being projected by the
by the projection booth.
Yeah. Actually, there are no projectionists anymore. I was gonna say projectionists, but it's like a I don't know what it is, like a disc or like a whatever.
Right.
And there was a moment where when they were in the bar, like the what were they in, like a strip club or whatever, you know?
A bar?
And she had like and then she had like kind of the like kind of puffed up hair, you know, like kind of nice looking.
Wow.
I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, you know, at least you know in Star Trek, I don't know if they had like hair. A lot of them, the aliens. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I don't know.
I mean,
I think
the one alien Jayla had a ponytail.
Oh, it's true.
I mean, that's only like one ponytail per character. The Harlequin had two, so I think that's why. It won.
Maybe, just that extra ponytail. I will say though, I feel like people are kind of overreacting when they're like, "Oh, it's an Oscar winner now," because it's like.
I'm more salty that I'm.
But
like,
it is, you know, there's valid to be.
I'm half jokingly kind of salty that DC has one before Marvel has one.
That's kind of it's kind of funny. Like I don't know. Again, like there was a funny tweet, and it was like for those of you keeping score, because that it was like La La Land has 0 Oscars and Suicide Squad has one.
Oh yeah, like at that point in the night, yeah.
Yeah, at that point in the night, that was it was just so weird. And we'll get into
there
the whole
are Best
La La Land
Picture
thing.
nominees that Suicide Squad has more Oscars than.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, again, it's kind of a weird way of looking at it because it's like makeup and hairstyling again.
And then talk about sound mixing, sound editing. We talked about that when we actually. I think that's that wasn't when it fizzled out. I think we fizzled out around the time we got to Best Animated.
Yeah, it was literally Best Animated that we. Yeah.
Okay, let's kind of just skip through these because I think you had a big point to make about that.
Which one, Best Animated?
Yeah.
But
let's just skip through sound editing and sound mixing. We were both like we were good results.
Sound editing was Arrival. Sound mixing was
sound mixing was Hacksaw Ridge.
Which I'm glad that I said this before. We're like retreading the same thing, but you know we have to because this is the real one. But I said that you know I was kind of glad that La La Land didn't just get it because if it was you know like music.
We skipped over its costume design actually.
Oh
no, that's next.
Yeah, that's next. Yeah,
next costume design, Fantastic
design.
Beast one. I thought that was cool because it's like a fantasy movie. Again, I would have been angry if La La Land won just because they had a nice yellow dress and then like coffee on her shirt.
Coffee on her shirt. Yeah, that's true. And the blue and the green and the yellow and the red.
That was neat for one. Yeah,
I liked it. I mean, it was a cool thing like for that, you know. But then again,
But I didn't think it merited the being nominated.
I thought Jackie would have won just because of like the time period thing. But then again, I feel like Fantastic Beasts had that too.
I'm interested. It's interesting that like no superhero movies have been nominated. For costume design.
I will say I feel like BVS like again like I don't know why I'm like kind of rooting for like for this but like
are you serious?
The Superman suit though I don't know man it's just like
the Batman suit
I have the same thoughts as you on the movie itself.
The Batman suit looked like it was made out of duct tape.
You know what? Yeah, that's true. I will. Yeah.
And Doomsday was a costume, the CGI.
Okay, can we not even say Doomsday? Yeah.
Rock Troll from the Fellowship of the Ring.
Fellowship of the Ring, yeah, mixed with like the
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Michelangelo. Oh, Mikey. Oh my God. That movie came out. The second one came out this year. That's crazy.
Did you end up seeing that?
Me and my brother double featured that with The Nice Guys.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which one did you watch first?
The Nice Guys.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know it was the worst, but
that's a bad decision.
That's just and my head just hurt. Like honestly, like they hurt really kind of just watching double features in general, but seeing just going from like a completely different spectrum of quality is just
from a well directed and like well acted and really clever movie to just like
to a robot with a brain in its like ass. I don't know, whatever the hell that was. Krang, I guess. Krang. I'm sorry.
Okay, I mean that's a stupid design.
I don't know, like it just as a non-Ninja Turtles fan, that was just a funny. I cracked up. I was like, what is that?
Even though I kind of criticize people for like. I criticize revivals and stuff, but I do kind of. There's something about like a big muscly android robot that has a little brain in his chest that's like kind of like it reaches that 80s threshold of like.
Oh, was it in his chest?
Of stupid enough that I'm like yeah whatever I like this.
Yeah. Oh wait, was it in his chest? I thought it was like in its like kind of
No, was
like.
Did Michael Bay make a dick? Did he really?
No, I don't think so.
An entire character to make a dick joke.
I was just thinking now, like, what if it was like kind of a joke, like a kind of like referential thing where it's like, oh, don't think with your dick. That would have been kind of cool, actually.
Michael Bay's not that clever. Let's not give him credit.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Well, he didn't direct. I mean, he just put his name on there. You know, at least for the second one.
I think Michael Bay's clever because I think he can keep making. Either that he's accidentally really good at making money.
Actually, yeah. Well, I mean, Well, then again, you know, worldwide markets, you know, that's how you got that. But anyways, let's keep going. So we just talked about what? Costume design?
Yeah. Was animated next? Or no, Viola Davis. Best supporting.
Best supporting actress.
Best supporting actress is next. We both agreed that Viola Davis definitely deserved it. We talked in regards to the other nominees. We both thought the Naomi Harris I mean, it's just like it's a really close performance in terms of like who we thought was better. Like,
I mean, I think by the Oscars like kind of perspective, I think it was between Michelle Williams and
yeah, we'll get to that.
But I think I would have had it between Naomi and her.
Yeah, because I think Naomi Harris. We talked about this without saying spoilers for anything. Naomi Harris has more of a range
in the movie,
but I think Viola Davis has one scene where she's like screaming and she's like crying and she's got like the snot acting.
It's like the scene that she's getting the Oscar for kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's like Naomi Harris has a lot of range and there's a lot of neat stuff, but like maybe she doesn't have like the one really standout scene and like.
And yeah, she's just not. She doesn't have the screen time that.
Oh no, sorry, I was confusing that with. Wait, that's
with what, Presents or something?
Wait, which one? Sorry,
Michelle,
which act?
Wait, so,
no, I'm thinking of the right thing. Sorry, I blanked out on names.
Oh, okay.
And then like Michelle Williams in Manchester, right? She's the one who's in Manchester, right?
Michelle Williams, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She. I didn't think she had enough. Like she has one scene that's good, and then like she doesn't have much else other screen time.
I will say another thing that's super noteworthy is the fact that they had a problem with Naomi Harris because she's British. They had a problem with her visa, so they had to. So they worked something out, and she shot all her scenes in 3 days, which is insane. Like that's actually
crazy.
like that's like. You know, because like I mean, well, they shot this whole movie in like 25 days.
Moonlight?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, I could.
And we'll get to
to
why it's so great that it won Best Picture when we get to Best Picture. But you know, just putting that out there.
All right, we're heading into dangerous waters now.
Yes.
Going into animated.
Oh,
this is right about when. Okay, so
this is right about
let's
we're caught up
down.
now.
We both wanted Kubo to win.
Yeah.
But I was accepting of Zootopia winning because I didn't think it was spectacularly had a spectacularly deep message about race relations, but I'm like, good message for kids.
Yeah. I just I mean I'm not gonna like boycott the Oscars, like for choosing Zootopia. I wasn't the biggest fan of Zootopia. I liked the first half. I liked the whole like investigating this, I keep forgetting what it was, but they were investigating something like the buddy cop kind of thing. And then the second half, I liked the actual like the kind of really sort of racially driven sort of like racially themed like story, I guess, that was going on. It's just the transition between them to me just felt really kind of like out of nowhere, and it just felt like, oh, like here's a statement kind of out of nowhere. Right. But again, it won and it's fine. Moana also.
Okay, yeah. So my issue with Moana was it was Disney movie, and it had some some songs from Lin-Manuel Miranda that were good, I guess. Like I like the main theme, but our main complaint was that it's just the Disney formula now is to cut out the villain, which is always the best part, which we talked about earlier. Always the best part.
Like a fun, like
Ursula's,
the fun part, yeah.
Ursula's basically a drag queen, and she has the best song in the entire movie. And Gaston gets the best song in Beauty and the Beast, besides the Celine Dion one.
Yeah.
And now the thing now is cut out the villains and just have two characters who don't like each other and have different personalities go on an adventure, and that's like the Disney formula now.
I feel like what makes them so fun though, like Gaston and Ursula stuff, is that they're such like caricatures, like
exactly.
But I feel like that's kind of what I will say. The one thing I like, because Moana, I don't want to sound like some like animated movie hater, like these kids, like no, like not at all. Kubo was one of my favorites of the year, but Moana, I just didn't. I also kind of feel the exact same way. I just thought it was traditional like Disney. I was kind of like nothing really swept me away or what. I mean, the animation swept me away. I'll say that.
Of course.
But the story-wise and character-wise
for Disney now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it wasn't like I wasn't walking in like, oh, how are they gonna do this water? No. I mean, I have high expectations, going in and all that, which is a compliment on their part. But there are a lot of things that I just did not really.
Also, quick update: we're halfway through the length of our original recording, which is pretty exciting.
Wow. Oh my god, I feel like we've been talking like so fast.
I'm sweating though, because if it gets down to the wire, we gotta wrap it up real quick.
Yeah. Oh my god, I could just imagine like this one just like stopping also,
and then it'll just
doing it like a fourth of the length of the other one.
It'll just be like. We'll have to cut down from 30 seconds to 5 seconds per movie.
5 seconds, yeah. Oh, geez, 5 second like summaries like Jimmy Fallon.
5 seconds for Moonlight, jeez.
No,
that's hard.
Not possible.
30 seconds was even.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Moana, whatever. Again, I didn't think it was really deserving to win either. And I like the songs from it though. You know, I like "You're Welcome" a lot, which is cool. The rock song.
That was the one that kind of I think got a rock song.
And you can see like Lin-Manuel Miranda. Like I haven't seen Hamilton. I haven't heard. I don't want to hear it until I see it. But I do know that he's kind of known as this creative genius, and I've seen a lot of interviews and stuff with him and stuff. And you can kind of see there was like these kind of like I don't know, like the songs were a little different in a weird way.
Yeah.
You know?
That's kind of his thing.
Yeah. Which was kind of cool. I mean, you know, and then let's get to Kubo, I guess. You know, Kubo. I thought
see it.
Yeah, see it. It was very. And this is what I was saying when it cut off. So I'm gonna say it boldly now. It was very much like the Iron Giant, where like it talks about kind of the inevitability of death, sort of, and in that, like, and
yes,
kind of just how
Iron Giant, another underrated kids movie. That's one of my favorite movies.
Which is on Netflix, by the way. I found out today before coming here. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's that was the movie I watched as a kid, and like. I think one of the first movies to like really kind of make an impact on me, and it's like that's such a good movie.
Yeah,
and
it's a great movie.
Also, like just like Kubo, also really creative. Whereas like the Iron Giant, it's like made in the 90s, but it's set in the backdrop of the Cold War and like U.S. paranoia of like nuclear attacks and like 50s science fiction, and it's like Kubo in the same way set in this kind of like interesting kind of like timeless fantasy like realm.
I have a feeling that maybe Kubo didn't win. Like this is just me, like, and I didn't hear this from anyone, but I was just thinking maybe because it might be a little too dark, like maybe it kind of because like I think Moana and Zootopia are kind of movies that even though Zootopia has that sort of thing going for it, like it still is a fun kind of bright movie. Like Kubo is very.
Do you think
like, they even swear a couple times?
Do you think that the Oscars kind of sees the like animated movies as kids movies?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, actually, then again, like because the way the nominations work is people in that field. Yeah. So I think they have respect because that's why like the Red Turtle and. But then again, like when's the last time a Studio Ghibli movie won? You know, it's just,
it's interesting. I think that's an interesting cultural thing. Whereas like referencing anime in Japan, like there is anime that is like specifically made to tailor to like adult audiences.
Yeah, Grave of the Fire, like Takahata stuff and all that.
Yeah,
you know?
like even anime TV shows too. Like there's anime TV shows that'll air like on prime time, like prime time hours on channels, and it's like I think like for like, intended for adults to be watching, and I think that's I think that's an interesting kind of like. Just kind of cultural, difference between countries.
Yeah,
fascinating.
And again, going back to Moana a little bit, like it just kind of seemed like almost too much of that. Where it was like, okay, I guess, like it was fun and a nice little, like it just didn't have. And I don't want every movie to say something. Obviously, it doesn't have to be some bold movie, but I don't know. Maybe it's just like because I was just used to it. Maybe
just because you see it you see the same. Nice kind of like formulaic movie enough times you'll get bored of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I guess that's why the Marvel movies have done so well because they change it they change it up enough each time.
And the heroes are so interesting that even if the villains like they don't do the in my opinion the best things with their villains, the heroes are still great. So
I'm gonna do.
Speaking of which, you want to go to visual effects?
Yeah, or sure.
Because both Kubo and Doctor Strange were. Were nominated. Jungle Book won, which I'm fine. I'm glad with. The movie was all CGI.
I mean, I expect that I anticipated that because I'm like, okay, they'll usually try, even if a superhero movie's nominated, I think they usually try to go with something a bit artsier.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of one where it's like, okay, it's not just like an action scene, like it's more like doing these kinds of like landscapes and things.
I would have wanted Doctor Strange to win if Jungle Book was not there, because Jungle Book is just, it's impressive. Like you can't deny that. It's just, that was made in a soundstage. Like they did not do any landscape shots like in any African play. Like no, like they just went in a soundstage and they did that all. And the only real thing, the only actual tangible thing on set was, other than like, the gimps and whatever.
The gimps. Bring out the gimp.
I've been thinking about that all day. Sorry. But yeah, like the model, whatever things that they use. Other than those things, that little Indian kid is the only. This is a really good year for a little Indian kid. So we'll say with Sunny and then Neil said, Sunny Pawar. Good. We'll probably get that later. I don't know. Even though Lion didn't win anything, but yeah, that was the only. He was the only real thing in the movie. So I expected it to win, and it won a lot of other things too. I will say I wasn't like the biggest fan of the Jungle Book. Like even like the kids acting, I thought was okay. Like I don't know. Yeah. Like there were sometimes where I was like, "Can I play in the water?" Like I don't know. Just his delivery sometimes was just so like kind of whatever. Like
it was enough kind of just to be like, okay, this isn't. Yeah. I think we're gonna skip over some of the smaller ones. Just cut it down on time a little bit. I'm just kind of flipping through on my phone here.
Yeah.
Cinematography.
Oh, okay.
La La Land.
I wanted Silence to win. So
I wanted
bad.
Silence or Arrival.
Yeah, I mean, I knew Silence wasn't gonna win, but it was really between Arrival, I think, and La La Land.
I think
Yeah.
because I think Arrival, I was because I think La La Land, yeah, it had good cinematography. Specifically, like the pool scene stands out in my mind.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
opening number.
Yeah, the opening number for sure. Yeah.
The way, I mean, like some of the stuff, like the kind of epilogue scene.
Yes, I was literally just gonna say that.
Yeah.
The use of shadow and stuff, and kind of silhouettes and stuff. Yeah, yeah. I would
that was
say.
cool.
Yeah.
The audition scene. Yeah, but I think there was almost like a subvertiveness to Arrival, where it's it kind of like a lot of alien invasion movies. You know, you have all these grand sweeping shots of cities, and I think that there was it kind of took those ideas and sort of subverted them. So when you have the big shot, like the shot panning on the giant alien ship, it's kind of done like. It's kind of done like in a kind of way that's more like
I know what you mean,
ominous and slow rather than like big and grandiose.
Yeah, I will say that. Yeah, what I like about all the nominations in this category was like with Silence and Arrival and La La Land was that they're not like movies that. I mean, Silence I guess has a lot of nature shots, but I guess a lot of people kind of associate good cinematography with like cool shots with like cool like grass and leaves and nature. But like it really, especially like even with Silence too, and with La La Land and stuff, it's just. Like we'll talk about La La Land first. That it uses certain techniques, like visual techniques that are cool. I think that contributed to its win. Like again,
and like even stuff like
shadow and
like the snow,
and there's visual stuff too.
Even like the snow, like there's like even small stuff like like the snow at the pool scene looks like old movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
the
way
like
that
heavy
kind of like clumpy. It kind of comes down in these weird clumps. That don't exactly look like snow.
Yeah, and with Silence too, like it's to me it was the shots with people that like spoke the most.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just, man, that movie's beautiful. But and Arrival had great cinematography too.
And then Moonlight was also nominated.
For cinematography. Oh yeah, it won the Spirit Award actually for best cinematography.
I like the spinning, the pit, like where it's like kind of one character and it keeps turning around them.
Ooh, yeah.
And actually, interesting thing, I've seen it. Michael Bay uses that technique a lot.
Oh, really?
For important scenes where it's a character that's moving and the camera's spinning around and blurring out the background and focused on them. And I was thinking about that while I was watching it. I'm like, this is actually a good use of that.
Yeah.
It's like Michael Bay just uses it to show like epicness, but this one is actually kind of more like character moments.
I will say there was a couple of things about Moonlight that I want to say. One, he uses 48 frames a lot in the movie. Like he kind of switches to 48 frames. I heard him like on the Hollywood Roundtable kind of talking about this. That I guess because he kind of wanted to, because the Barry Jenkins. The writer and director, or the writer of the screenplay and the director, it's kind of based off his own life in a way, growing up in Miami and all that stuff, and he just wanted to kind of feel like a lot of scenes like were shot in 48 frames, like the one I guess where his mom like confronts him, after her. Okay. Oh,
wait,
why am I talking about
wait,
the
hold on,
plot?
hold on.
I'm not
Okay,
going to. No, sorry, I'm not going to talk about anything.
Hold on. Which part of his life?
The first with Little.
First.
When she's looking, okay, well, it's in the trailer. There's a shot when she's looking right at the camera, and she's like when she's yelling at him.
Oh, I know exactly. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a scene where, so he uses 48 frames because he wants to kind of like make it kind of the in the momentness of it,
and that's
kind of like of his own life.
That's more frames than usual, right?
Yeah, that's 48 frames, which is usually like 24 frames.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And another thing I like to say about Moonlight is he uses a lot of behind the back shots. Like he kind of like follows a character as they kind of walk, from behind the back with all three parts. And he wanted to do that. He did that a lot in the movie because he wanted to because it kind of symbolized like him sort of kind of going into the world like from
that's true, yeah.
being in his perspective.
Also,
and so, I think that kind of contributed just like those ideas.
Also kind of like
to the
made it
nomination.
seem almost like documentary-esque.
Yeah.
Like not in a distracting way, but in like sort of a subtle way. Almost like like a good kind of use of like sort of like that kind of technique.
Yeah, because I was very because it's very handheld, and like I'm always like, because there's always that big film versus digital debate going on among filmmakers, and I was always that guy because I was like, man, I kind of want to just do film. Moonlight's the movie that really just kind of taught me. I mean, like, man, like you can do so much with digital, like that just can really enhance the storytelling, in my opinion. I mean, again, they had like such a limited budget.
Yeah.
Let's go on.
We're gonna move on.
Yeah.
Let's just do music and original song and score.
Oh,
both
okay.
in the same one.
Yeah, sure.
La La Land won both. It
Yeah.
won original
Deservedly,
score.
of course.
Yeah, of course. And then original song for City of Stars.
I think City of Stars is. I thought. I mean, it's cool that the simple one. I mean, I think it just won because it's kind of the staple song of the film. You know.
I think they should have not gone, because I think they should have just gone with one of the bigger ones instead of Audition. Go with one small one and go with one like
Another Day of Sun.
Another Day of Sun,
cool
or
one.
I really like Someone in the Crowd. Like,
Yeah,
just
that's a really
personally.
good song. Yeah.
Just like the kind of the and like just like the like kind of just like halts for a second and then like the slow like speed back up the tempo and stuff like that.
Yeah. The epilogue is really good, just like the way it's because it's kind of a medley of the whole soundtrack before it too, you know.
Sing
but
Street,
so that
I mean,
wouldn't have.
Sing Street should have gotten.
Yeah, it should have got one nomination.
Even just
you know?
like even without the context of the movie, Drive Like it's still like a pretty
It's
good
a
song.
great, yeah, it's a pretty good song. Like, I mean, at least instead of the Timberlake, I mean, I actually like the Timberlake. I don't know, it's just
It's a catchy-
weird. Like,
that's a catchy
it's a catchy song. It is, yeah. And I would have been fine with I'm surprised that the Pharrell song for Hidden Figures wasn't nominated, to be honest, because I thought it was.
What?
I don't know what the song even was
Oh
called.
no,
but
wait, I'm trying to remember what the other two were, because there was the Sting.
Oh, yeah, no, there was one from the Sting one that I was gonna say. The one about the or the one that was in the film about the journalist killed by ISIS. But who was the other? Yeah, what were the other ones? Oh, How Far I'll Go.
Oh,
of course. Yeah, from Moana.
Yeah, that was a nice uplifting song. It was uplifting.
You're
and
Welcome
nice.
was just more.
I think that's more. I don't think that's like
enjoyable.
I don't think that's a song that's good for its musicality, but good just for its like uniqueness. I was fine with it.
I will say I found this because there was someone there was someone today in school that was kind of like talking about this that I found kind of interesting about Moana, that she was kind of annoyed that what's her name, Moana. Jesus Christ, that Moana that like the only song that she was singing was like. Was the How Far I'll Go. Like, it had the same, it was like the same tune.
That's
true.
true.
You know, like it wasn't like there was no other kind of different
And then
song.
she's singing at the Oscars, got whacked in the head with a flag.
Oh yeah, that was great. Like, she handled that so well.
Yeah.
Though. She's 16, bro. Like,
Yeah.
what the heck? Oh my god. Okay, let's not get weird here.
Okay.
But yeah, let's keep going. What else? Yeah, what else have we
covered cinematography,
Yeah, we covered cinematography, song,
screenplay. Manchester.
Screenplay. I bet. Yeah, Manchester was totally gonna win.
I think everyone's pipe dream was The Lobster.
I wanted. Yeah, I would have actually wanted The Lobster.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Because
Alright.
I mean, like, come on, it's best original screenplay. That's the most original
Alright.
film of the year. Like,
Do you want to just get to the last two, like director, picture, and two actors?
Yeah.
Okay, so director Damien Chazelle won for Best Actor.
For best director, yeah.
Yeah, Best Director. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think he deserved it. I'm glad.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
glad that they split Best Director and Best Picture this year.
Me too.
Because I think
They do most of this. I feel like they do. Or
for the last 2 years, I'm pretty sure it's been.
last year Spotlight won Best Picture, and then Alejandro Iñárritu for The Revenant won.
No, I
yeah.
messed that up.
But then 2 years ago with Birdman.
Yeah,
that was the
that's what I was
case.
thinking. Actually.
Yeah.
But I think both of La La Land and Manchester, or not Moonlight. Gee, I keep
Moonlight.
messing. I started messing up things.
Yeah.
We've recorded this once. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I'm glad that both La La Land and Moonlight kind of got recognized with the really prestigious ones, because I think I think Best Director does also kind of indicate a lot of like the quality of the movie, because it's
of course,
because it's showing, because obviously the director, I think, is the one who has a lot of control over the movie.
Yeah.
And I think he did a good job GarageBand's chugging a little bit. It's chugging a little bit.
It's chugging.
It's chugging a little bit.
I think it's been doing that the whole time, so I think we're good.
No, it lagged. It stopped for a second. Yeah, I think he did a good job like directing it and kind of just making interesting choices. And
I'm happy about it for two reasons.
It looks like just based on all the scenes, it looks like it was a hard. It looks like that was a hard
movie
to make, hard to pull off.
Yeah. There were two things actually I was gonna say, because Barry Jenkins, I would have been fine with Barry Jenkins winning, because I think he just did an incredible job with that. But I will say, exactly what you said. That was one of my things, was that it just looked like such a
The two big dance scenes, like that choreography, even I mean, even just like, I mean, I don't want to assume anything about the musical talents of the actors, but I assume that I'm assuming they didn't get it on their first try, and I assume
for
it
sure.
probably took them a little bit, to get the hang of it.
I think, just in general, because like being a director, obviously, it's not just the actors and stuff that you're working with; it's everyone, and that's like the hard thing. And with a musical, it's more people because you got all those music people, all those set designers, and costume designers, production, whatever. So getting it all, I think, had to do with it.
So there's like cool, like subtle stuff that I didn't even notice till like my second time through watching it, where it's like in the epilogue they walk through like a set, like a sort of like an old Hollywood play set of a city.
Yeah.
And when they're on the studio lot at the beginning, when they're looking into one of the productions,
It's the same
set.
one. Oh my God! How did I not? Yes, it is.
I noticed that my second time through.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I did not put it together.
Yeah, there's like kind of just cool subtle stuff like that.
That's amazing. Wow. Yeah. I was gonna say something else about Damien Chazelle. He's the youngest person ever now to win Best Director.
And also the first lines of Another Day of Sun sort of foreshadowed the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, that whole song. That's great.
Okay, and then Best Actress, Emma Stone, pretty demanding role. I totally agree. Should have gotten that.
Yeah. A lot of people were thinking Isabelle Huppert was gonna get it for Elle. I honestly, I just don't know if like even if hers was. I haven't seen Elle. I was going to, but there was again, it wasn't really playing anywhere near me, so I couldn't. But
of course,
I just feel like again, I mean, it's great that she was nominated in the Best Actress category. Considering she is foreign.
Yeah.
But I just feel like even if her performance was considered better, I feel like they wouldn't have given it to her just because like many people don't know who she is. I guess.
I feel like it's hard, and I feel like it would be harder to kind of judge a foreign performance when stacked against a lot of.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, because I mean that is a subtitle. Is Elle subtitled? Or is it?
It's subtitled.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay.
So I think, true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Emma Stone deserved it, got it, and then for Best Actor, Casey Affleck, really subtle, promotes a lot of subtleties. I think.
Yeah.
A specific. Oh God.
Which I'm glad. Like,
and I'll say this. I'll say this like just kind of in a way that won't spoil anything, but with the flashbacks, you can definitely see kind of the roots of where his kind of personality changes as his life kind of goes wrong.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of subtleties there, and I think it's worth bringing up the like kind of harassment charges that have been put against him. I don't want to make a judgment because there's been no really conclusive evidence one way or the other.
It was just kind of like claims of people,
there
which
were
we don't
claims,
know.
which is like based on like I read into it a little bit, and it's like it doesn't seem he hasn't strongly denied it, which is interesting, but like I don't think anyone's had. There's been no like things that have been enough to rule it like really one way or the other, and but like even if it, like I don't know, it's interesting because I think there is kind of that question of do you judge it based on the artist as well as the art, which I think is kind of an interesting thing because then like which I don't know because it's tricky because it's like at some cases it's like he might have
Casey Affleck.
What?
No, nothing. You're like in some case, and I was like,
boo.
Yeah,
but it's like it's like at one hand it's like maybe he was the best performance, but on the other hand it's like okay, let's say we're in a case where it's like it hasn't been ruled yet. Like let's say hypothetically, let's say that this case had been brought to court and there was like a ton of evidence like that was basically ruling him guilty, but they hadn't ruled it yet.
Yeah,
I feel like that I'm like,
I'm sure.
Do you take that into account? Because it's like, do you really want this guy getting up on a stage and trying and like representing all of Hollywood? It's I think that's kind of an interesting kind of debacle. A lot of like I don't.
It's
because it's tricky.
When you say like that, because I'm always the guy that says.
Because I think part of it too is like there's kind of like a sort of like I guess narrative to it. Like like I guess example that I can think of off the top of my head is like the 2009 Catherine Bigelow James Cameron had a divorce, and then it was James Cameron's big Goliath Avatar going against Hurt Locker for Best Picture, and it's that was kind of like the big interesting it's kind of the big fight.
Because they were sitting like right like behind each other, which is kind of weird. Yeah, which is that was crazy.
Yeah, and I think that's in it. Like I feel like there's always a narrative going in.
Yeah.
And in terms of even too like how personal the movie is to the actors, like obviously it seems like Denzel Washington really wanted to, it seems like he had like a lot of passion because this is something that he had contributed a lot to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the first guy to say. Wait, I can't even tell if I said something in this one or the last one. But I don't know if I said it yet.
It might have been in the deleted version.
Yeah, it probably was. That I'm one of the first people to say that it's really just dependent on the art. I think because that's what the awards are for.
Yeah.
But then again, when you say like he is representing, the best of Hollywood, I guess of that year.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is hard.
Okay.
But, oh, man.
Okay, so we're getting to around the point that the last one crashed. Mm-hmm. So what I'm gonna propose is because Best Picture, we're not gonna discuss that whole fiasco because everyone's discussed it to death. I think at this point. How about we do a Moonlight spoiler discussion on episode 3.5 where we talk about Logan.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and also, not too much news. I think we discussed Mel Gibson. It's directing Suicide Squad 2. I'm just watching the clock count down because we're getting around to the point.
Yeah.
Next week we'll do kind of a supplementary episode to kind of give more thoughts about Moonlight specifically because we definitely want to discuss that in spoilers. Because there's a lot to talk about there, a lot to kind of dissect.
Yeah.
And then also another thing, we did not watch Akiru like we were supposed to. We drew that 2 weeks ago as our movie pick. I was busy with stuff, and also the movies that I did watch were like that Oscar marathon we discussed earlier.
Yeah. I was doing a lot of catching up as well.
We'll try to watch it over the weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
Perhaps maybe Get Out as well if we have time.
Yeah.
Because I think that is a movie that I'm personally really interested in, and I think would be interesting to discuss.
God, there's so many movies I have to watch.
Yeah.
Well, with 3.5, it would be next weekend,
yes.
right? Yeah, let's try to do that.
And with a possible guest appearance by Nick Koplovic.
Oh, no. Oh, okay.
We promised him Brendan Fraser, so we're going to have to go track down Brendan Fraser over the weekend.
Oh, cool.
Because I think he's expecting Brendan Fraser to be on this podcast.
Okay.
So perhaps we'll have the star of The Mummy, Brendan Fraser, on this podcast.
Nice. School
Probably
ties.
not, though.
Yeah, you know what? You never say never.
Yeah.
Awesome. Actually, yeah. I think we could just pause it. I was gonna say something about about Moonlight winning best, not about the fiasco.
Go ahead. We got a little bit of time before GarageBand is just gonna crash.
Before just deletes everything. Moonlight winning Best Picture is probably the best thing to happen to the one of the best things that happened to the Oscars, and not just because it's like about black gay people, but honestly, like just first of all, the movie took again, I don't know if I said this in the last one or this one. I'm pretty sure I said it in this one though. It took like 25 days to shoot. They didn't have the budget to have rehearsals. They had no rehearsals for the movie.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I didn't actually know all of this.
Yeah, they had no rehearsals. More rehearsal. Okay, whatever.
That was actually good though.
Yeah, whatever. Let's go on from that.
Actor name. This is going to be your thing from now on.
Yeah,
this podcast.
I think it should
This is your bit.
Yeah, you know what? I'll think about it.
Even though I usually make more puns. Like,
I don't know.
This is gonna become your thing now.
Yeah, I think it is.
You're stealing my spotlight.
But yeah. So what was I gonna say about? I was gonna say something about. So Naomi Harris shot her stuff in 3 days. The movie had no rehearsals, as I said. The movie took a month to shoot. The movie had a budget of $1.5 million, which now makes it the lowest budget film to win Best Picture.
Wait, hold on. Can I cut you off for a second? Because I want to pause this and save this, and then we're gonna start recording again just to make sure we have a saved version of this.
Okay, cool.
All right, sorry, I had to save the podcast real quick because I didn't know if GarageBand was gonna kill it.
Oh, it's all right. Moral of the story: Moonlight, incredible win. Even though I do think that they should have. I mean, not they should have, because nothing. That sort of stuff happens. Talking about the fiasco, that sort of stuff happens. I just wish that Moonlight had the opportunity to have the full.
Have to give their speech.
The time to give their speech. It's.
Would be a nice kind of gag or skit to do next year. Just redo it.
I think
just get the Moonlight crew back and just redo it.
Yeah, and that's literally what I was thinking. 2 days ago, I was like, man, what if they just continue on?
It would be funny. It would be funny and self-referential, and they could probably make a gag out of it where it's they're gonna do it again and then they mess it up again.
That would be so. No, I mean it's definite that they're gonna have Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty come back next year, because they do that all the time. They did that with John Travolta, even though that just kind of buried it deeper. I feel like with him, but whatever.
With more face touching.
Yeah,
God, that was the most awkward thing.
Yeah, that's like half of why I love the Oscars, because like things happen that's just like, what?
Yeah, but yeah, going off of your point with Moonlight winning, another thing that I thought made it great was like I think La La Land was a close second in terms of like me liking these movies.
Yeah.
And I really think honestly that like if La La Land had won, I feel like the memory of it would have been misconstrued as, oh, it's this movie that totally sucks up to Hollywood, and look, it won Best Picture, because it sucked up, and it's like it's almost good for. In a way, that's almost good for La La Land, because now maybe
exactly.
People, like there's not going to be necessarily that seal of like this is just an overrated kind of like movie that's just pampering.
And yeah, that actually connects to what I was going to say next, which is like I don't really agree with that in general. Like the fact that it's really not. Like I don't know. Like I saw it as not at all.
It's kind of a whole really, I guess in a meta way, a whole theme of the movie is.
That you can't have everything
remembering
in
the past, but moving forward.
Yeah,
and like,
yes.
And that's exactly what this movie does. It remembers it acknowledges the past, and then it does its own thing. But my point is that I think people would are misconstruing it as that.
Yeah.
Misconstruing it as being like Hollywood pampering.
The Hollywood, yeah, exactly. But then like, would you imagine if the fiasco happened the other way around? Where Moonlight went up, and then they said, "Oh, it's actually La La Land." Like,
that's interesting.
The
public. Oh, dude, the public. I feel like the public backlash on that would have been so uncomfortable. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, like I do not think it was staged at all, but it is interesting that thank God.
Supposedly the. I saw a headline. I don't know if this was like on an actual like a Buzz kind of website or like an actual like real website.
Yeah.
But apparently they're considering firing those accountants who have been doing it for
PricewaterhouseCoopers, really?
Well, but then they've been keeping track of those ballots.
That is literally their job. So I mean, someone
pulled up an interview. I saw an interview from like a couple days before the Oscar that someone pulled up on like an internet like kind of like board just as look at how funny this is, and they were interviewing the people who were handing out the envelopes. It's like it's our job to do this. It's very important, and we always make sure that we do it right. It's our job. And I'm like, oh no.
I will say though that like I'm not gonna lie. Like people are saying like, oh, it was a fail. It was awkward and stuff. But like it was actually like a cool moment. Like I don't know. Like maybe
I think it was good to see the kind of like really kind of like. It was cool to see the camaraderie between everyone and how kind of how kind of composed the La La Land people were with like being like with giving off these awards.
Yeah, because again, it's not so black. It's not as black and white as we think. Like, oh, he hates this person. Like, because the La La Land producers and the Moonlight producers have been together for like a year now, like simultaneously at film, like ever since Telluride Film Festival, marketing their movies. So they've been together for a while, and they've like known each other for a while. So it's not like they're just like meeting for the first time and they're like like these are like the team Moonlight team. Like okay, no, it's wait. Like they they're fine. They're cool.
Okay, I just thought of something really fun I saw the other day. But all right, 30 seconds of all right, hold on, let me pull up my phone.
Yeah,
we're gonna do 30 seconds of La La Land spoilers really quick. So like skip ahead 30 seconds starting now. Okay, so I saw this webcomic on the internet.
Yeah.
Where it's like La La Land wins best picture, and it's like everyone dancing, and then it's like the end of La La Land where it cuts back and it's Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone clapping in the audience. So in a way, it's actually that is actually perfect.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I know. I was like, that's perfect.
That's amazing.
Anyways.
Oh my god.
All right, we're not gonna spoil La La Land anymore.
Yeah, you can. We are go back. Yeah. Wait, are you gonna put the timestamps for those?
Yeah, we will probably.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might take a while. Speaking of memes, though, like internet things, like you saw the thing with like the with like one of his bits when he brought out the tourists.
Oh, Gary from Chicago, of course.
Yeah, Gary from Chicago, and Gary from Chicago's wife or fiance, his fiance or whatever.
Yeah.
When Ryan Gosling goes to like hug her and then like kisses her, and then there's that like, and then she makes it, she's like super like in shock.
Yeah.
And then someone took a screenshot of that, and it looks like he's like whispering something.
Oh no.
And then someone's caption was like, "I switched the envelopes."
Right.
It was incredible. Yeah, it's amazing. Like, and that's the thing is that it was just such a. It's part of Oscar history now, and that's just the fact, and like nothing can change that, and like it kind of livened up the thing. Like I was just like, what is going on? I was so confused.
And it ended up leading to a nice kind of moment of showing the friendship between two.
Yeah, and it's so like ironic, It's like like here it is, like people. Like,
I mean,
people
I think,
about,
and plus it was such a bad. I think it was like.
like such a kind of perfect storm of like, even if it was some award for like Hell or High Water or Arrival, I think they would have been like, I don't think this is right, because I think because La La Land and Moonlight totally were the front runners. I think if it was any other, like even in like a different kind of like Best Picture nominated movie, like I think they still would have been like really, I think they would have more been confused.
Yeah, again, I just wanted to see them do their full speech, because at the Independent Spirit Awards, the kid who plays Little, who plays the young Chiron in Moonlight, he's so awesome. Like just like when he's at TIFF, like at Q&As and stuff, like he's just like they ask him these questions like about acting, and he's like his responses are so great.
How old is he?
He's in like I think 5th grade or something. Or he's like
is he just like one of those really intelligent like 5th graders?
Literally, okay. Like we always I was thinking about this the other day, because I was watching like these like things with like Sunny Pilar and like obviously and like with all the kids of 2016, and we always like talk bad about, or not us, but like a lot of people talk bad about actors and like, oh, they're dumb or whatever. But like these kids are friggin' like so well mannered and intelligent. Like at least the kids in these movies, like from Captain Fantastic and like from Fences and Moonlight, the kids from Moonlight. They're so cool and like they're so normal and like whatever. Like they have nothing, like nothing that you can like identify.
Hopefully
like,
they don't turn into like Jake Lloyd.
Yeah, hopefully they won't.
Have you seen pictures of Edward Furlong now?
Yes,
it's really sad.
Yeah, I know. It's just
kid actors don't mess up your lives.
Yeah, I know. I just hope that he kind of just goes back to school, or like just kind of act at his own pace, because like what I was gonna say is that Barry Jenkins made him and the other kid who plays his friend, who I forgot what his name is in the movie. But anyways, the two kid actors go up to speak when they won Best Picture, and like it was amazing. They were like, I want to thank the cast members, and it's just like when they're talking, they're just like they're so chill, and they're like, all right, so, and I just want like I knew, cute, it's like so cute, and it was so awesome, and also I wanted to see them doing the Oscars. I want to throw out
an exciting new conspiracy theory that I haven't heard around.
Yeah,
the Oscars kept screwing over Leo until last year.
Yeah.
He was the last one seen holding Emma Stone's Oscar envelope.
There are two, Davis. There are two.
Did he just want to mess with the Academy like they had messed with him for all those years?
Yeah.
You'll never know.
It's so interesting because like, was he even on the red carpet? Like I didn't see the red carpet, but I don't remember like.
Like how Leo just chilled for a year. Like there are all these pictures of him just like sitting on like a beach.
Yeah,
he just chilled for like a year.
Yeah,
after eating an actual
like
bison
a raw
liver.
bison and stuff. Yeah, But then again, Daniel Day-Lewis chills for life. Like he, and then he just comes in and does it. Honestly, he makes one movie every 5 years. Or at least he's been doing, and he wins an Oscar every time he has one, and he has one this year coming out with PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson, which is gonna be incredible. So yeah, hopefully it is. Yeah.
All right, man. Have we talked enough about everything?
We talked about. We got more. I think I'm gonna see.
We've gone longer. I think.
Do you want to see Moonlight again? Because I bought it, so I can.
Oh yeah. I mean, if we have time.
I've been wanting to see it again. I've been seeing so many clips of it again.
Yeah. Next week we'll do a full Moonlight discussion probably.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll take the whole time to like.
Well,
maybe like
just talk about spoilers.
We got Logan too coming out.
I think we haven't really talked to each other in depth about Moonlight, but like.
Like even in person too, yeah.
Yeah, I think we should.
Kind of should wait because it's been a while since I've seen it too, like the whole thing.
Yeah, right. All right. I think we're gonna sign off for now. Join us next week for special episode 3.5. And we actually, despite trying to do the Oscars in 30 seconds, we ended up going over.
Yeah.
And I think it might have been the battery because we had to plug it in my computer in because it was at 7%. I think that might have been it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's unfortunate. All right, I think we got more stuff out of this than we did the last one.
Yeah. Is Nick gonna be? Is that a certainty?
I think Nick will be there.
Okay, that'll be interesting. Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye. Good.